Alright, we're going to show you how to replace a ink pump on the Jetty flatbeds. So first thing you want to do is in the software you want to make sure that the ink pumps are turned off. So the red X means that they're turned off. And then when you come back to the ink housing, you see you got your primary ink tanks here that are labeled on top. And then you have your ink pumps. You have 2 ink pumps per color because you have 2 heads per color. Determining which ink pump it is, there's a couple ways of doing it. Specifically with this issue, why we're replacing this one is because it was smoking, so we knew that it was a problem. But we knew it was an issue because it tripped one of the fuses on the circuit breaker over there. So another way you can determine if it's a bad pump is if you prime the channel and you put your finger on the center spindle there. If it's not moving, or if it's not moving like it should, that would be an indication that it's a bad pump. So first thing we're going to do is there's set screws on the sides of the ink pumps.
Those Allens?
Allens, yep. We're going to be replacing the bottom pump. So to get at it, because it's in the center here underneath, we're going to need to remove the top pump first, and then we can get at the bottom one. When we remove the top pump, you don't need to disconnect the ink hoses or the power cable. You could just push it out of the way so you can easily have access to the bottom pump. And then from there, you will take the set screws out of the bottom pump before you disconnect the hoses and plug anything back in. So new pumps are going to come with replacement hose connectors if you need to trim down your line and put on a new hose connector. But for this, we don't need to do that. So you want to take the new pump, you want to take one hose off, and then you want to put it on the new pump before taking the other one off so you don't forget where you're putting it. And once you get those in there nice and tight, you're going to go ahead and put that pump back, put the side Allen screws back in, put the side Allen screws back into the top one, and then plug in the power and turn your ink pumps back on. And that is how you replace an ink pump. So this is the old ink pump. As you can see, it's covered in ink. Ink down the whole sleeve. Ink gets inside the internals there, which can short it out. And like I said, this one was smoking, so definitely something was fried. All right, once everything's plugged in, everything's connected, pumps are secure, then you're gonna go over to the software and you're gonna turn the ink pumps on. So as you can see, the magenta is low on both. So when we turn the ink pumps on, we should hear them clicking over in the back, and then we should see these 2 fill. If they're pretty empty and been sitting for a while, it's going to take them a minute to fill up. But while we're waiting, come back over here and just make sure.
Oh, spinning.
They're spinning?
Yep.
So they're spinning, everything sounds good. So we're just waiting for those magentas to fill up. And from start to finish, there you go, there's one that's full. And from start to finish, this whole process for someone who hasn't done it before, like this was Kurt's first time, took about 15 to 20 minutes total time. So that is how you replace the ink pump. And this one will eventually fill, and then the yellow will fill too, because there's nothing wrong with that pump. But that is how you do it. And you can see all the inks are now full.